Hello, and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. In today's episode, we're going to kind of dip into the river of racism and sexism. Well, I was debating on when I should talk about this, and I'm probably going to talk about it again. But I just watched the video by D'Angelo, and normally I am all about what he's saying and I agree with him like 100%, but if you don't understand where she's coming from, and yes, I do understand. Well, okay, let's just get right into it. Grab some tea, grab a snack, grab like a soda, wine, whatever you know. But okay. If you don't know, with Wicked, which, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the movie. And I kind of want to see the movie even more after what has happened. But it's like they had their Wicked poster created, and it was an homage, like the actress stated, but they weren't trying to copy it verbatim. And one reason is that I don't like D'Angelo didn't mention. And yes, he loves art. I love art, but within art, like especially marketing in art, sometimes when you market something, you market it differently. When you are trying to get people's attention, you get their attention differently based off the genre of what you're trying to portray or what you're selling or what's being performed. And one difference is with plays, different actors and actresses play the roles. So the person who created this art did it in a way where it's not going to just be one person's face or a generic face that resembles certain features of a certain nationality. It was literally in a way where anybody can play this role. Even if someone calls in sick, the next person, they'll fill in. Doesn't matter the race, doesn't matter so that's one strong thought that I have. And now that we have a movie, we have specific actresses and actors that are going to be in this movie. And I believe one reason why she is highly upset and insulted is that she had to try out for this role. She worked very hard for this role and she put her heart into this. She is the character within this role. And I can't say I would ever be able to be at her level, or as an author or anything, but creating characters, being a character is a huge deal. And the art of portraying that character to the point where it's a part of you now. Like while I write my stories, like while I create my different characters, I feel like I am a part of them. Yes, I made them, but each one has their own personality. And even my villains, parts of me have to attach to their villainy, to their evil, to their sometimes I have to think about what evil have I wanted to do in my past. But even with the hero, what things have I not been brave enough to do? And with Wicked, a lot of people see her as the villain, or was in the Wizard of Oz. Actually both, but you see the hero within her. You see both sides in her. But like with this poster, people say it looks like she's in distress. It's like I see it as, huh, where am I going now? What am I going to do? What are the next steps? It's like, because within the play and everything, they put her in situations that most people would not have to deal with, that a lot of people wouldn't have to try to conquer and she's going against, and like she's so close to her dream. So yeah, she is in a predicament. And there's probably so much more, but that's just like when I see her eyes, it's just like, what do I do? In a way, she was fighting in a war, like with her and the scarecrow and everything like that. It was just like escape and survive and do what you have to do. And especially as an African American woman playing this role, that is a huge deal. She is the main character, which is a huge deal. And he even mentions Zendaya. It's like, do you know how many roles she had played in? And then she gets hated on, or people are like, oh, because yeah, when she was Spider-Man, hello, come on now. Do you know how much hate she got for playing like the leading lady? And then the Little Mermaid. It's like when African American women play a leading role, especially that most people only see white people performing, we get hate on. Or they always say, make another story, make another. And it's just like, why can't we ever be good enough? Why can't you see our identity, our eyes, our humanity, ourselves? Why can't we be good enough? So part of me wonders, with them hiding her face, if she felt like she was no longer good enough to be seen, good enough to be looked in the eyes, good enough to just feel fully like human or fully of the character, because she worked so hard with her craft and she put everything in her in order to portray that character, which, like, back when the book was published, I wasn't allowed to, because I remember saying I want to read the book, and yeah, I go to a very conservative church, so my mother was like, nope, she's a witch, you can't read it. So I wasn't allowed to read it. But now I'm a grown adult, I'm gonna read the book. But I remember, like, my sister was nice, like that was a present for me. She took me to go see the play, and yeah, it's like digging deep into the character and how powerful she is. And in this, also in the pictures, it looks like she's powerless, because she's like, what am I going to do? And being a witch and having power, to feel powerless is just very confusing. And so I just feel like she tried to portray that in the eyes. And then you hiding that, you're hiding part of her talent, part of her artistic approach. And maybe a day or two later, maybe she would have realized, you know what, they're a fan of the play, and some people are just going to compare me to the play. They're going to compare me to the original actress that played like Alphaba. As like, if I'm like, sometimes I'm like, am I saying it right? It's like I have to see the spelling for me, like, but anyway. So that's why I'm just get why she feels the way she does, especially being an African American woman. I've worked jobs. I remember I was working I got hired at a real estate company as a marketing manager, and the owner, the owner's wife, like, oh, I don't have anything nice to say about her. But I remember I got the job, and I was trying to I was trying to come up with ideas, and I was doing research, and the owner always had meetings, and I'm like, okay, how can I get trained on how you guys promote the houses in the homes and the customer service? It's like, I need to know your approach so that I am not too off the wall. And but they would never do anything, or they would, like, instead they were like, oh, our receptionist is absolutely dreadful and awful, we're about to fire him. And it's like, why don't you can you train him? Okay, so when are we going to I'm going to tell the whole story later, but it was just to the point where I feel like the ex-wife just did not want me. And the ex-wife was like, okay, why are you paying her? And so they laid me off in order to get free internships. And I'm like, so you don't even try, like, yeah, let's just say it's a long story. But I literally retrained, like, I went and created training materials and practiced with their receptionist for almost a full week. And then they fired him anyway. So then they had me at the reception table, and I'm like, when am I going to start the job that I actually have my degrees in, that I'm literally trying my best to start? And so while I'm at the computer answering phone calls, I'm starting to do the marketing my way, because I'm like, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm at least going to do my job the best that I know I can. And I even started creating a YouTube channel for them. And I started even doing other items, to the point where they were getting phone calls from some of my ideas, and they were coming up like, oh, we got a phone call from this. Do you know anything about it? And so then I would show them the website. I'm like, yeah, I registered you, and here you go. Now you're starting to get recommendations and things like that. And but yeah, it's like, let's just say I heard a couple racist comments from some of them, especially them saying they're, like, when they hired me, they were so surprised with how ambitious and how much I wanted to learn or work or do my job. And it's like they said, and but then one of the ladies was like, I didn't think someone from Detroit would work so hard. And I'm like, well, one, I was born in Detroit, but I don't live in Detroit. And it's really funny because we live like literally a block away from each other. When she found that out, oh, let's just say petty. But that's one example. When, while doing promotional modeling, you do not know how many times I would be working a promotion and I would see something, an issue that would need to be resolved or fixed. And so I would go to the team lead, who was a lot of time male, and it's like white male or male. And the male would like write the, because sometimes I'm like, because I don't have that contact information. So I would give them the idea, or the, like, how to get it to be better. And next thing I know, the company's giving him credit. And sometimes I'm like, that was my idea. And he was like, yeah, but I'm the team lead. And he was like, I got to do what I got to do. And I want to, well, I can say his name starts with a P. He did that 3 or 4 times to me. And I'm going to tell the story. I think it was Michigan State or U of M, where we were literally doing a TV show preview of Terriers, and that we had the two main character actors were there, and they were getting like questioned by students, and they got to do a talk and everything. It's this the same gentleman. It was a nightmare of an event, and but and I literally had to do all the work, but I'm going to do that next time. But in college, I think I told the story before, so I'm going to do a quick version. It was finals time. And well, now I know I have a learning disability, but with me, it's like I have to start getting ready for finals earlier. And now that I know, I should have been able to ask for the final information ahead of time, but literally, I'm trying to cram as much information. But I had a communications class this semester with accounting, and I'm trying to remember the other two classes. Like, I think the other two classes I was pretty good with, because it might have been marketing, but anyway. But yeah, accounting, that's a monster where but I had my communications class. And yes, it's communications is pretty easy. Well, okay, if you're majoring in it, there's harder classes or whatever as you get up. But anyway, if we had to do a volunteer event or do something and then do a presentation as a group, and throughout this like semester, like some of them were okay, it's like, but found like we got into our groups, and I volunteer a lot. As if you've been listening, you kind of know this. And so I asked one of the nonprofits that I used to volunteer with, and I was like, oh, can we come and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, yeah, come on. So my group came and I planned it all. And one of the male students, male Caucasian, he decided he was going to sleep on the couch while we're supposed to be volunteering, but he goes to the couch and sleeps. I mean, he's asleep. The kids are poking at him, and he's not waking up. And some of the girls are like they're helping out and everything. But anyway, we finished so we did the event, but now it's time to create the project. None of them help. Literally, and it's group grade. I emailed my professor saying none of them are doing anything. I planned it, so shouldn't they be at least creating the final outcome and things? And she said, well, either you fail with them or you do what you have to do. And I'm just like, I have to study for my other finals. I planned it. That took time and everything. And then I had to email them the address and plan. Like, I had to coordinate and call them and do everything. So now I have to take more time. But so anyway, I literally did the entire project. And one of the students, when it was time for us to present, they were so scared. And they were so scared because they didn't think they had a project. They didn't know. But I created it like a Jeopardy game, or I did like a game show. Maybe not Jeopardy, but it was a game show. And they were so impressed. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. And I'm like, don't thank me, okay? Because I did this for me. And we got an A on, like, I got an A in the class and on the project, or we got an A on the project. No thanks to them. No thanks to them. But just knowing that one of the students tried to take, like, the same male student, next thing I know, oh yeah, I passed out the snacks and we got to do A, B, and C, and we did this and we did this, and oh, and I was blah blah blah. And I'm looking at him like, you were asleep on the couch. But it's like he wanted all the credit. He did not give me 1 ounce of credit. And now, okay, leading towards my books. When I tell people that I publish children's books and soon to be my novels, and they're like, "Oh, okay, what's your character's name?" And so, like, with one of my books, my one of my main characters is Leslie. What kind of name is that? Well, it's African, and like, oh, we're not gonna like, yeah, that book's not gonna sell. No one's gonna want to read a name like that. Like, yeah, you need basic names. You need names that we like, we love. Okay. No. And that's one reason why, if people don't want to buy my books because I don't have the generic American Americanized names or Caucasian American names, I'll live. But I love, like, some of the names are more generic, but some of them I like seeing the names that are all around the world. I love embracing, like, unique, wonderful, beautiful, artistic names. And a lot of times people even tell me, like with my novel, your main character isn't black, right? She is. Well, you said she has a disability and she's black. No one's going to read your book. It's like, because your book is going to be for, like, black people with disabilities. There's not that many out there. No, it's for people who enjoy reading, and especially reading urban fantasy, and enjoy superheroes, and enjoy just, like, sexual jokes and puns and, like, satire and oxymorons and things like that. But and then the Christian crowd. Oh, you're going to hell. This is a sin. You have a character in the LGBTQ community. And I've had like doing my research, and people have told me, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't put your picture on the book. It's like once people know you're black, yeah, you won't really, like, people are going to think they have to be black to read it. But how come when there's a white author, anybody feels like they can read it, but when it's a black author, it's not the same? But then when it's a book about aliens, everyone feels like they can read it. You're not an alien. It's like, but unless you need to tell me something, but so I don't know. It's just I can relate to her pain in a lot of ways because I get because I mean, even dating. Do you know how many men have literally broken up with me? And oh, I have another video because something happened last night, and oh, I took screenshots before he deleted himself because so many women were dogging on him. But he didn't know I took the screenshots way ahead of time. I just didn't reply because he was a waste of time. But I told you guys about like Tomas, who broke up with me because he said that he would never be able to level up like me, and that what kind of author would date somebody with a criminal record, or who, yeah, he forgot to tell me that he's back to doing what he did in order to go to prison. Yeah, second chances, right? Anyway. And then Mr. No Heart, he hated the fact that I have 3 degrees, and he hates the fact that I'm publishing my books. He told me after I finished writing my very, very rough draft of my novel, I was so excited and happy for him to read it. I'll only read it if you publish it. He threw, like, I just talked about this too, but I didn't post it yet. I don't know what order. You guys know my YouTube channel is as messy as my life. But he threw away one of my poems from college that I shared with him, and I told him that was a printout, that I didn't have it saved. And a couple days later, while I'm cooking, I see it in the on top in the trash. I took it out. Not like, yeah, it's like when people keep diminishing you, when people keep telling you you're not good enough, when you're not, when it's already hard enough to find a chair at the table. Our wonderful actress, she has her throne at the table where now people can look her in the eye and she's like, I am here. But then someone, yes, they're a fan of the play and I understand, but when you shadow out her hard work, her image, her artistic approach, that is an insult. And yes, like when she compared it to the, like, there is so much else going on right now. Right now, it's like I'm concerned that we might end up with a bigot in the White House. So I'm like, yeah, we've got other things to be concerned about, Project 2025 and all this other crap. And it's like, yeah, today actually is going to be the video that will, okay, I already posted it. So just look up the episode where it's if you're a racist and you know it, clap your hands. Yeah, the guy called me the N word repeatedly. So, yeah, when it comes to racism, sexism, ableism, I go through it every day. I go through hatred every day. When I go out in public, people stare at me, judge me, ridicule me, tease me, mock me every day. And then people tell me that I will never be anything, or I'm never going to be a famous author because of who I am, especially with my disability. They're like, oh, you have a disability. You must not be able to do much. Yeah. When I went to job interviews, people dismissed me. Why do you walk like that? That's not permanent. If you have to go to a meeting, people are going to stare at you. You're going to the clients are going to be more worried about your walking than what you have to present to them. They're not going to pay attention. So, yes, I understand. She took it a little, yeah, it's like it wouldn't have been at that level. I would have, taken, like, if I was her friend, I would have been like, okay, girl, yeah, let's pull you to the side. Let's drink a glass of wine first and rest, fall asleep, then wake up. Now, what's on your mind? How can we reply in a respectful, beautiful, amazing way like you are? Don't be angry. It's like reply in a way where you can show, okay, I am human And this is my artistic approach. This is the way I'm proud of the way that we did this photo. And but when it's an African American woman, sometimes like you have to understand how we're already excluded in so many things. And even with that business lawsuit with the nonprofit, these women give business loans to African American women, but then they were sued and now they're not allowed to do it anymore because because these white people said, "Oh, you're racist." And they're like, "We're not racist. Black women get less than 1% of business loans." And so we're shadowed out, we're hidden, we're like like they don't want us. They don't want us. So when we can finally show who we are, when we can finally succeed, when we can finally show our value and our hard work, they hide us. They don't like us. They don't appreciate us. But this is the handicapable Black woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. And I understand this person is a true fan. And I'm more interested in seeing the movie as itself, because if the book is different from the play, then I want the movie to be different as well. I want it to stand on its own, or maybe have a little bit of the book as well. It's like if they can dive a little deeper into what the book has, so that now it's not officially just the play, that would be delicious. That would be amazing. Okay, you guys take care. Bye.